Hey everyone, Sawyer, and we're back at a Fortnight at Frenni Fazclaire's. So, I decided I'm gonna get the true ending. Replay through it all. Of course, we're gonna skip all the dialogue we've already seen before, so there's no need to redo that, I don't think. But, yeah. It's gonna be a bit difficult. I did find a guide, which, thank God, because I have been playing this for a long time. I can't get past night 13. But, alright. So let's start this. Alright, I do believe the first option we have to do is wait. Let me double check. Yes, wait. Skip all this. I do believe we need to apologize. I have to check every single time just to make sure. Apologize, and then we're going to do return to pod. Apologize. Yep, return to pod. I'm killing it where that. No matter what I do, it's all being recorded. I also can't shake the feeling of unease. Best I decline Frenny's offer. Would you mind returning to your recharge pod for the evening instead? I don't want to break any rules on my first night. Frenny winks, turns, and gives the camera a glorious view of her rear end. Very well, Mr. Black. I'll get you out of that security room another night. Oh, I'm sure you will. I'm watching several feeds as Frenny finds her way back to the animatronic room and to her pod. Soon the only sounds coming from the air conditioning and the low hum of displays here in the security room. It's relaxing and peaceful, just how a night shift should be. That reminds me, who is that texted me earlier? We know it's Fexa. Watch your back. Oh, no, it's not. Maybe. No. There's more to the animatronics than the boss wants you to know. When in doubt, hole up in the security room and pray 6 a.m. rolls around. Oh, I can skip all that. Just keeps getting weird. Maybe the upcoming call from Mr. Smith will shed some light on what's going on in the nightclub. Skip. Drinks will come out of your pay. As for music, I can now skip. So it's just one line that was new. Uh-oh. You know what? Time to give a save. I won't need many saves, I don't think. Let me check what my list says here. Text, number, then the night will be done. Sweet. Alright, we're going to research. Skip. And I do believe we have to watch Frenny and then try hacking. Watch Frenny and try hacking. Alright. More choices. Tell girls they have to listen. And then trust the girls. Good, and wait for me upstairs. And trust the girls. Wow. Oh boy. Yeah, let's save. Just in case. What should I research? That's the hard part. Do they tell me? Yes. AI coding, and then missing person. AI, missing person. AI, missing person. I like how sometimes it jumps you up 50 or it jumps you up 100. Alright, now we have more options. Blood, camera. Blood, camera. That's a cool looking picture. I think I've seen that one, obviously. Let's see. Hug and invite her in. And invite her in, of course. Zero, you're always welcome with me. check what I gotta do. Restock soda. And then pet the fox. Huh. I start to answer, but the words die in my throat as I realize what the implications might be with the cameras watching and recording me. At the last moment, I try and slip past the question. Don't know, but looks like you finished restocking for me. Thanks. That means I got free time for the rest of the evening. Free time to do anything? Yeah, I suppose. Skips. Pet her. And, alright, let's check. I gotta do this right. Let's see, pet the fox. Research magic. Uh-huh. And now... Alright. So we have to do Heaven was 0. And then magic and missing. Oh no, I get magic and fit if I do that. Okay. Yay! I guess that worked. Let's see. Vacuum and restock. Zero's right. Apparently the girls here can tell when someone hasn't been getting a release lately. That's because I may have gotten off before reporting in tonight. Aw, and here oh, I can skip all that now. Nice. Restock. Skips. And now, go back to the list. Research missing 100. Alright. Still no evidence. Research on own. That's what we gotta do. And then research missing. Research on my own. Let me focus more on research while it's fresh in my mind. As you wish. And what did I say? Shoot, I forgot already. Missing. 3 hours later, I can no longer resist the allure of my bed and the golden bear upon it. I get comfy and content in Zero's arms with her spooning against me like a jetpack before nodding off. Alright, she's not in the apartment now. We can skips. Oh, when I check my phone, I see that I've received a check from Chiku while I was asleep. Here's something for you to check out. Well, that was nice of her. The question is, do I act on her photo? After relieving some pressure to Chiku's photo, I work out, hop in the shower, and then head off to the nightclub right on time. Alright, let's see what we gotta do. Alright. Replace camera. Text 0. Replace camera. And then text 0. Alright. Let's see. Get Peck's address. Alright, let's do that. I tell Zero to get me Sawyer's address and an actual phone number so I can possibly confront him later. Number and address comes from Zero's number shortly thereafter. When I look it up on Google Maps, it's one of the more run-down parts of the city. Definitely don't want to meet Sawyer there if I can help it, much less turn up unannounced. For now, I simply thank Zero and return to my nightly duties. Okay, let's see. Vodka, dough, research magic. Vodka, dough, magic. Vodka? Dough? Chico was right about Smith adding pizza stuff to the list now that I know about the hidden pizzeria. I recall which switches to toggle for the backstage lift or descend into the basement. To my surprise, Chiku was already down here working on the pizza dough. Fancy seeing you here, Chiku. Oh, hi, Josh. I saw that Mr. Smith tasked you with prep work and thought I'd help out. That's rather kind of you. Thanks for the assist. Don't mention it. Part of the reason so much dough needs to be prepped is because I had a few pizza parties during the day shift. People really like our pizza, even though it costs a bunch. It's easy to persuade them to buy it. Especially if I offer to hand feed it to them. I wink and move to one of the adjacent prep stations. Can't imagine why. More time with you is a blessing. She grins ear from ear as we both tackle making pizza dough. She wasn't lying with how much we have to prep. The club must go through an army's worth of pizza during the day. The good news is that the work is simple, albeit time-consuming. That gives me time to chat it up with Chiku. Uh-oh. What was that supposed to be? Prepared dough? But now I'm not getting... Tell Chiku... I don't know. Okay, yeah, tell Chiku what I found, sure. Oh, I think doing what I did automatically gave me the points. Okay. I can't keep it lit on this any longer. I have to give Chiku the good news. Since there's no cameras down here in the pizzeria, I should be safe to tell her I found her past life. So, you remember our conversation about you wanting to be a nuclear engineer? Yeah, why? Well, that gave me the lead in my research. I think I know who you once were. Chiku freezes mid-motion as her eyes pulse red. You shouldn't tell me that. Only Mr. Smith should know. Tell her real name. No risk, no reward. I might be setting myself up here, but I gotta tell her. Used to be Sophia Hart, cheerleader and sophomore at Waterfall Institute studying nuclear engineering. In an instant, Chiku has me pinned against the wall. Oh wow, she's got talons on her feet. That is nifty. Her eyes rapidly flashing between red and green. Perhaps I screwed up. I must. Her eyes land on green and stay that way. You did it, Josh. You've broken the code lock Mr. Smith had on me. Glad to hear it. Can you, let me down now? She releases me and looks at her body as if seeing it for the first time. Can't believe this is what Mr. Smith turned me into. But I'm free now. I don't have to do what he tells me. Although, maybe I still should until you freed the other girls. If he catches on, he might do bad things to them. To you. To me. You're probably not wrong. But at least your mind is its own now, yeah? Yeah, I can play pretend easily. Even falsify my internal recordings to fool Mr. Smith. I could kiss you senseless right now, but I don't want to risk it. There's way too much data flowing through my head right now, but maybe later. I flash her a smile. Later sounds great. For now, I have a few softball questions for you while we work. Sounds great, Josh. Ask away. What's your favorite kind of pizza? Probably supreme or classic pepperoni. You? Anything with garlic and cheese gets my vote. Even pineapple? We don't talk about heresy like that. Not in the open. We both share a laugh before I move on to another topic. Any juicy or funny stories from working here? Let's see. There was that one time Fexa accidentally switched her keyboard to high BPM during a performance. It was a slow song too, so suddenly hearing 200 BPM thudding out got everyone laughing. Frenni, Bonfi, and I all leaned into it, though. Soon we were dishing a high-energy polka. I remember the audience really loving that, even if Mr. Smith wasn't entirely thrilled. Yeah, fuck Mr. Smith. Outside of that, the only other tidbit I can share is about meeting the pizzeria chef. When I first came down here, he was furious and French. A dangerous combination. I can imagine. What'd he say do? He threw dough balls at me, saying that the robots have no place in the kitchen. He changed his tune, though, when Mr. Smith stepped out from behind me and got smacked in the face with dough. Oh dear. I bet Smith wasn't thrilled with that. Let's say the chef was notably less hot-blooded from then on out. Understandable. I'll note not to throw dough at Smith if I ever see him. That's probably a good idea. Another round of laughter. I press on with a couple more questions while we finished up. Do you have a favorite animal by chance? Probably a peacock. They're so colorful and pretty. What about you? Wolves get my vote. Dragons, if we include mythical beasts as well. Dragons are pretty cool. Too bad they aren't real. I know, it's a shame. Looks like we're getting to the last of it. So one more question. What's your favorite genre of music? Synthwave and lo-fi. They're my favorite to listen to and perform. Makes sense. I like a wide variety of genres, though I tend to pick and choose individual songs rather than specific albums and artists. That just means you have a discerning physical palate. Huh, maybe. And there we go. Last dough ball is ready. Thanks for your help, Chiku. Don't mention it. I'm always happy to help. Alright. What do you want me to do now? Research magic. Magic, magic, magic. Yay! Let's give a save. We're doing good. We're doing good. Thank you, guide. After the night's events, I get the gut feeling that dealing with Sawyer soon rather than later will be the best thing for everyone involved. And my mom used to say, the longer you let crazy simmer, the worse the stew will be. I have Sawyer's number and address thanks to Zero, but showing up out of the blue wouldn't be safe. Not just because of where Sawyer lives in the city. He strikes me as the type to shotgun random visitors who knock on his door. Instead, I text him asking if we can meet. He texts me back the address of a public park and a time 30 minutes from now. I'll have to really hoof it to get there in time. Meeting in public should be safer, but it also means something Zero might cause issues if I'm not careful. Still, this is my best shot to hear from Sawyer, so I take it. 20 minutes later, I'm seated on a bench watching early morning joggers and old people moving about the city park. A man in oversized black trench coat and ski mask slips onto the bench beside me. He speaks in a terrible imitation of a Batman voice.
Were you followed?
No, were you?
Of course not. The agents of Orthodoxy can't track me.
Oh, good. He's one of those types. I had a feeling, but this confirms his brand of crazy. So, why is it you want me to quit my job at Frenni Fazclaire's? How'd you even get my number in the first place? Sawyer shuffles on the bench, looking out across the small hills of dew-covered grass.
It's easy to look up your number. The government tracks everything you do.
All I had to do was break free of their mind control and listen. Oh, that's him talking. Okay, and why should I quit?
Because those girls aren't right. They're part of the global conspiracy to upload everyone's mind to the Matrix so the lizard men can control our thoughts.
This is getting me absolutely nowhere. And I feeling Sawyer wasn't playing with a full deck of cards, but this all confirms he's either gone insane or always was. Still, as crazy he may be, I might be able to glean some useful information if I get him talking about the right thing. Damn, really? What isn't right about them, so I know exactly what to avoid?
The bear is actually a siren in disguise. Her songs twist your mind and make you weak to your psychic emanations. The fox is always in the hen house, feeding upon the Karen's lowered corpses. The bunny is a stripper.
And the chicken? He shifts uncomfortably, his legs closing reflectively as to guard his crotch.
The chicken lures you in with promises of a feast. Only take what makes you a man.
I decided to lean into his performance, hoping for further information. I see. Thanks for telling me. I've noticed some of those things, too. What more can you tell me about the chicken? I don't want to lose anything to her.
She works for them, you know. The matriarchy. They want to shackle all men and make us their slaves. Those they deem unworthy end up castrated and sent to the psychic crystal mines in Nevada.
I don't know where psychic crystal mines in Nevada. Sawyer is very eager to explain that to me as he launches into a monologue. It's extremely clear to me that this man needs help. Right now, he seems harmless, but it's a short drive from conspiracy nut to murderer. I need to figure out how to get him to leave me alone. But first, I'm curious about one thing. What was that about a Karen Lord and the fox? He scratches his left forearm as if it was a nervous tick.
She takes the souls of men and binds them into plastic soldiers to fight for her amusement. Her forces are too great for the army of light to handle. She invades the rightful property of men.
Oh, good. That wasn't cryptic at all. Still, it might help me find Fexa's real identity somewhere down the line. I've got all I can from this strange man. Now to pour it on thick and hope he buys the act. Alright, thanks for your intel. I can't say too much, but you may have just helped save countless lives and possibly countless souls. We can't meet again. The risk to both of us is too great. You need to stay safe and keep your head down.
Of course. Glad I could help the forces of light. El Sai Congro, brother.
Sawyer stands, looks about nervously, flips up the corners of his trench coat, then hastily leaves the park. I'm not entirely sure he's been dealt with, though. I should have Zero haunt him for a bit. Let's see. Yes, have Zero haunt. It might be for the best for Zero to monitor Sawyer until I'm absolutely sure he's no longer a factor. The added benefit to that plan is Zero can mess with Sawyer and drive him to do something that'll get the cops called if he tries anything further. It's a bit macabre, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. I know Zero will do her best to keep me safe. I'm shooting off a text to that effect. Zero sends one back. Okay, I will watch him. I left you a batch of cookies in your apartment. Ooh, she's the best. After this entire affair wasted all the time I had before I have to sleep. I'll research more after I wake up. I awake 9 hours later. There's a text from Zero waiting for me. Oh, I can skip AI. So it doesn't matter than magic. It doesn't matter. Magic. If I leave the night, I get a text from Zero. Someone broke into Sawyer's apartment just now. There was a gunfight. I'm fine. He's dead. The police are writing it off as gang violence, but I think it was a hit. Damn. Either Sawyer was closer to the truth than I thought, or he was a victim of pissing off the wrong neighbors. I worry that might mean I'm next if I piss Smith off and or get fired. Alright. Let's see what's important to do here. Magic and memory ward. Magic, memory ward. Memory. And thunderstorm rituals. I do believe I have to get that too. Let me see. Yes. Come back later. Home. Skip. Alright, and let's see where I am now. Missing people. Missing. Oh, I'm going to be doing a lot of missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 missing people in a row. Okay. 1. That leaves Frenni, Bonfi, and Zero for me to discover. 2. 3. When I fire up my browser and continue researching missing persons, I find a potential hit for Frenni. Pictured is Imada Asa, a junior studying communication and acting at Waterfall Institute. She is a member of the Chi Alpha Delta and well known for her impromptu karaoke shows in the local community. Imada-chan was seen leaving her sorority house for her morning classes during the most recent thunderstorm. If you have any information, the picture is over 4 years old. In researching further, I found a shaky video of one of her karaoke performances. The quality is that of a potato. What matters is the audio. Once I hear her, I instantly know I found Frenni, there's no mistaking that voice and method of singing. At this point, it's becoming clear that the Institute is the focal point for all these abductions. Smith and his accomplices must have a way to circumvent the Institute campus security. That, or it's just that shitty. Still, this leaves Bonfi and Zero for me to discover. Give a save. That's what, 3 I've done? 4. 5. Last the identities of the original 4 girls. All that's left is 0. I have next to nothing to go on for 0, though. It's not likely I'll find anything without a major clue as to who she was. Where's the shark one? The shark girl. And now my 5th chunk of research. We'll do missing again. Most out of free time for every club for my 7th shift. Alright. And now I have to do 2 AI. 1. No! That messed up! Alright. AI. AI. VIP booth. Here we go. True name, I don't have a choice. If my experience with Chiku a few nights ago is any indication, speaking Fexa's true name should free her completely. I'm gonna try something. I think I know who you once were. Fexa freezes mid-motion as her normal eye pulses red. Whatever you're doing, make it quick. My blocks do not like this conversation. You used to be wee young me. I seen you studying architecture at Waterfall Institute. You were on the dance team and did a bunch of wargaming. Her normal eye rapidly flashes between red and green, then it lands on green and stays that way. I know who I am, Josh. I know who I am. You did it. You fucking beautiful person, you did it. I can skip. We should probably get out of here before we give Smith a reason to check the logs. Oh, Lexi, here we go. Fun thing, I'm here to congratulate Fexa on her newfound freedom. You may still be stuck here until Smith is dealt with, but this is an important step towards that goal. My main reason for being here, though, is to warn you about what's coming tomorrow. Smith has been working on a new animatronic at home, and tomorrow he's finally going to activate her and bring her to the club. When that happens, I won't be able to move about the club so freely. I could use a place to stay outside the club, if you're so willing, Josh. Maybe? I need to know more about you first. Then I'll hang out with you once you get your task done for the night. I see. So this is your chance to get to be noticed before Smith made it even harder for you. More or less, yes. Great. Well, before I forget this whole conversation, here's something for you, Josh. Fexa reaches into her cleavage and pulls out a note from Smith. On it are 2 tasks. Clean up the repair area. Do not fuck the animatronics. Wonderful. At least the list is short. I'll come along and help to make it quick, too. Cool. Oh, I can skip. Yay. Thought occurs to me. Lexi might know more about Mike Smith. Smith wouldn't have erased her memories because he wouldn't remember her to begin with. You wouldn't happen to know who Mike Smith was, do you? Yep, I know him. Or rather, I knew him. He almost freed all the other girls about a year ago, but he got too cocky and complacent, so Smith found out. Smith ran a full update on all the other girls, erasing or blocking nearly every trace of Mike from their memories. As for Mike, well, you know the river nearby. Smith gave him a concrete ticket to the bottom of it. Yikes. I'll have to be careful that doesn't happen to me. Boop the snoop. Let's see. I stop booping. Oh. Fine, I'll stop. But you make it oh so tempting. Thanks. My nose is really sensitive. Like real sharks, I guess. We're almost done here. One last push, then back to the security room? Agreed. The 2 of us make short work of the remaining mess. Then we head back to the security room. Okay. Options here. Research. Yes, it's all research. What was I missing out on? AI. Okay. I return home with Lexi in tow. As I open the door, I see that Zero has manifested and is waiting for me. Hey Josh, wanna... She freezes as she locks eyes with Lexi. Who's this? Just a new roommate. I'm hurt, Charlotte. I thought of all people you'd remember me. Though somehow, I'm not surprised that even ghosts are affected by my wards. How do you know my name? I haven't even told... She floats closer to Lexi and stares intently. I see. You have a memory obliteration ward on you. A powerful one at that. That explains why Josh is wearing a counter ward. Am I correct in assuming you brought her here for a reason? Yep. Apparently Smith is going to bring in a new animatronic tomorrow that will make it difficult for Lexi to move about the club so freely. The new girl probably will make things difficult for you too, Charlotte. Call me Zero. Right, sorry, Zero. The way Smith was going on about her, it seemed like he put an anti-everything ward on her. Though, not one strong enough to defeat my ward, sadly. Interesting. We should compare notes. Even though you won't remember? A ghost has her ways. It won't be as effective as Josh Counter Ward, but I remember enough. I can't but yawn as a wave of fatigue hits me. You girls do that. I've had a long day and could really use some extra sleep. Of course. Have a good night, Josh. If you want to research physical security stuff when you wake up, I can help. Pleasant dreams, Josh. Alright, same goes with Zero and Magic. Okie dokie, what are we gonna do now? Research AI again. Okay. Oh, the good news is that scrying is only a thing in Dungeons and Dragons. Zero clarified that pretty early into my research of the paranormal. Regardless, I don't like the fact that Maria is here now. I have no ideas where her loyalties lie, let alone why Smith wants me to make sure she's Rule 1 compliant. Shouldn't we have done that before unleashing her into the club? I decided to bring Zero in on this. New girl showed up at the club, just like Lexi said. I think Smith's up to something. Mind coming check things out? I couldn't get close to the new girl. She's warded like the server room. That means I can't suggest things to her, possess her body, or really be in the same area as her. Great, she's just a walking dead zone. Thanks for trying. Okay, more. Oh no. I'm trying to think of where I am. Are we on night 8? I don't remember. Okay, well, I have to do research. I guess AI. 2 AIs. Okay. Are there other wards besides a memory obliteration one that can mess with technology? Depending on the nature of the ward in question, it can anchor a spot or person. In this instance, Marie's wards keep her omnipresent as far as security systems are concerned. They also would act as a magical guard dog, able to sense if anyone uses magic near them. I've stayed far enough away so far, but I won't be able to help you at night unless you figure out a way to get Marie out of the club or deactivate her. Another AI. Okay. Give a quick save. Everything is working out. Okay, so AI. Then get jumped by Zero and Lexi. Oh, okay, that's a thing. Both of them are waiting in the kitchen when I arrive home. The smell of something heavily fills the air as I take a seat and loosen my collar. What's on the menu today, girls? Zero's been teaching me how to make omeras? She's a little challenged in the culinary department, but with my guidance, she's made great progress. Show him what you've made. Lexi eagerly produces a plate with a beautiful omeras. Drawn on top in ketchup is a little chibi version of Lexi, Zero, and myself with little hearts. Well, what do you think? This is amazing, you two. Thank you. As I dig in, the girls settle opposite to me at the table. So, we've been talking. And we've come to a conclusion. Uh-oh. Wakey, Josh. You don't want to be late for work, do you? You have just enough time to shower, do some research before you're expected at the club. Check my phone. They're right. I was out longer than I thought I'd be. Thanks, you two. Best get on that research before I run out of time. Yes. AI 100. I mean, yeah, it'll give me 100. After researching, I hop in the shower and head off to the nightclub right on time. Meet Frenni VIP. And then speak her true name. That's true name. If past experience is any indication, all the girls have a lock that can be broken if I speak their true name. Do you trust me, Frenni? I do, yes. And I think I know who you once were. That's dangerous territory, Mr. Black. I hope you know what you're doing. Me too. You're Imada Asa. You used to study acting and communication at Waterfall Institute. You're also a former member of the Chi Alpha Delta. Frenni's eyes go dark, and she goes limp in her seat in the booth. Chin lurches upright, eyes blazing pure white. Mr. Black, my mind is my own once more. How? I found the real you with a lot of luck in researching. What do you remember? I know I've been under Mr. Smith's control for 4 years, ever since Professor Barwald kidnapped me during that thunderstorm. Frenni looks over her body as if seeing it for the first time. They really did a number on us girls, didn't they? But this is wonderful. I feel like I could sing, but I won't. But won't for fear of luring out Marie. Am I the only one you freed? I freed both Chiku and Fexa before you. I see. And Fexa's been acting different because you broke Mr. Smith's control over here. Was it due to the conversational suite upgrade? Yep. It didn't take for Fexa, which gave me the chance to try something crazy. And I should continue to play my part until you find a way to fully take control away from Mr. Smith. I don't know how much help I can be, but I am no longer limited by restrictions on certain topics. Let's start with the most pressing issues. Do you know a way of getting into Smith's office without tripping alarms or alerting Marie? No, because every time I get to night 13 it fails. While most of my memories of entering Mr. Smith's office have been erased, I retain several snippets that may be useful. He uses an Iron Turtle brand smart lock, capable of sending alerts to his smartphone whenever someone tries to open the door. Smith does not use the key slot to open the door. Instead, he uses a signal from his phone. A similar lock secures the server room. Iron Turtle smart lock. Got it. Do you know if the professor has any accomplices besides Mr. Smith? My understanding is that Mr. Smith and the professor were roommates in college. Where Mr. Smith went on to run a business, this nightclub, Professor Barwald went on to teach at the university. Mr. Smith is a dominant one in the relationship, or at least I've witnessed him bullying and pressuring Professor Barwald into doing things for him. Like capturing you and the other girls? Like that indeed. To answer your question, though, I do not know if the professor is working with anyone else. Is he the source of the animatronic bodies? Bonfi hinted at there might be a new model being made. Do you know anything about that? Close. Professor Barwell provides decoding and monitoring software, while Mr. Smith constructs the body and performs the soul entrapment process. As for this new model, I think it might be a new frame for either myself or Fexa. I grimace as darker questions come to mind. If it's no too painful, what was that like, being turned into an animatronic and enslaved under Smith? Frenni looks past me with a neutral expression. Oh, damn it. Oh well. It's good to save. What can I say is that there's not a single moment where I wasn't screaming inside of this metal shell. My only release and means of fighting back was singing. Judging by the fact we're having this conversation, at least some of my intent must have reached you. Gods, that's awful. Sorry it took so long to come to this point. But I have to know, since Marie is now here, is Smith planning to capture more girls? Your songs keep hitting towards time running out. Mr. Smith plans to go public 6 days from now, with plans to create a chain of nightclubs like this. He'll leave out the unpleasant bits like capturing souls and selfing them into animatronics when talking to investors. But he has plans for several other abductions. Once he starts getting investors to sign on, it'll be extremely difficult to stop him. Fuck, I only have 5 nights to work with. Alright, that's fine. We can do this. You're in a management role. Do you have any power over Bonfi or Marie? To a limited degree. Should power go out and you were not present or unable to be located, I would become the highest authority in the building. Otherwise, I can only heavily suggest where the girl should go. Sounds like it's a good thing I brought supplies for that thunderstorm creation ritual. Speaking of magic stuff, have you noticed anything paranormal about Mr. Smith or his office? There are odd symbols on the walls of his office and the server room. I've also seen him wearing a strange pendant that resembles an inverted cross. I wonder what that's about. Alright, one last question before I hurry back to the security room. This is one should hopefully be a bit of a breather. Do you still feel a desire to fuck me? I don't know if you girls are just horny or if that's your programming. Frenni smiles, leans in, runs a hand down the side of my neck, then whispers into my left ear. I'd fuck you through the floor right now if we had time and Marie wouldn't find out. Right, horny it is. Thanks, Frenni. Until I figure out the Marie situation, be careful what you send and say in front of the cameras. We don't want to blow our cover. Of course, Mr. Black. Just remember, 5 nights before the deadline. I get it now. 5 nights. Skip. Uh-oh. I gotta check. That was a lot of talk. Let's see. Speaker true name. Research missing. Alright. Yay! I can save. Ooh, this is going good. Once again, I return home to mouth-watering fragrance. Lexi and Zero have prepared another delectable meal spread. There's fluffy pancakes, strawberry syrup, various fruits, and a tall glass of fresh milk. You two are spoiling me. How'd you manage to afford all this? I did some busking, while Zero did her spooky magic. To be fair, Lexi paid for most of the ingredients. I just did the cooking portion. I still learned a lot by watching, though. I'll be a master chef in no time. Can't wait to try your next meal. For now, though, let me dig in before everything gets cold. My breakfast is as tasty as it smells. I try to help with the cleanup, but the girls insist on handling it for me. That gives me time to do some research. Yeeth. Research. Okay. Oh, and we're going to hold off after... Okay, so research AI. Nightmares, feel like I'm running from something that if it catches me, it means my end. Keep looking back over my shoulder in the dreamscape. I see nothing but a swirling mist of inky darkness. Yeah, I can feel freezing cold claws. We've already read that, though. I'm sorry I can't skip it. Alright, they're both at my side, concerned. Everything alright? You were tossing, turning, and mumbling something I couldn't make out. Was it a nightmare? Yeah, a pretty vivid one, too. Been a while since I've had one like that. Will you be okay? Is there anything we can do to help? I'll be fine in a few moments. Just have to let the initial wave of shock wash off. Alright, if you're sure. We've got to recharge, but enjoy your extra time from waking up early. Just summon me if you need anything. Hit the shower, check the news. Alright, so let me just double check. Hold off and then night 10. Okay. Of note, the weather report shows that there will be a storm system moving in the night of Halloween into November 1st. Is there ever a good time to attempt to get into Mr. Smith's office and the server room? It would be during a thunderstorm and the power might go out. That way the girls will have more control over themselves, and most of the security systems will be running on backup power. I could probably attempt to summon a storm earlier than November 1st with the materials I got from the Madame Chian. It would take 24 hours to kick in, meaning if I did it now, then the summoned storm would hit during my night shift on Saturday the 28th. Assuming the ritual works, of course. I have no way of knowing until I try it. Even if the ritual fails, I should still commit to making my break-in attempt as if I had it. That way Lexi and Zero know when to make an appearance at the club to help me out. Huh. Hold off. Night 10. If I correctly recall what Frenni said when I freed her, Barwald has been partners with Smith since college. Barwald does the coding and monitoring software for the girls, which means a USB stick could hold valuable data I can look through. Alright, we'll pocket that. If I remember what Frenni said last night, power go out, otherwise girls go. That means when the power goes out, I can hide somewhere long enough for Frenni to gain authority over Marie. Then, Frenni could order Marie into the freezer. Genius. Wake up to the sound of sizzling. Glance over to the kitchen. I see that Zero is supervising Lexi as she works the pan. Like this? You need to turn the meat and spread it out more. At the moment, you're just searing one side. So like this. Better. Now add the cheese and don't let it melt a bit before putting it in the bun. What are you guys making? They both turn and present me a beautiful homemade cheesecake. We hope you like it. We figure you could do with one of your favorite foods. I take the plate, set it aside for a moment, and hug them both. Thanks, you two. Don't mention it. Zero's really the one who's making sure everything turns out correctly. Speaking of which, we need to start on the cookies next, so they'll be done by the time Joss gets back from work. Cheesecake is divine. And to think I'll be getting cookies in the morning as well. Today will be the second to last chance I have to attempt that thunderstorm ritual. Since the club is closed on Sunday, the next and the final chance for the ritual will be on the 29th. Otherwise, I have to hope the weather forecast of a storm never first holds true. Okay, what should we do now? Hold off again. Okay, and then research AI. Hold off. I don't think now is the time to commit to a break-in attempt. Instead, I use the time for a little bit of research. AI. At this point, I've learned everything about coding that I can get from hard research. From here, I'll only grow with professional instruction and/or experimenting on my own. Good news is that I'll at least have a promising career as a code monkey should I get fired from the nightclub. Usual decision? We know what that is. Alright, night 10, or 11. What do we gotta do? Help bond fee. Okay. Now we're gonna do attempt to free. All the girls here, save Marie, are free of Smith's control. Alright. Oh, jeez. That one again. Favorite doesn't matter. Alright, let's go ahead and save over this. Yeah, save over this. Oh, never mind. When I get home, Lexi is recharging and Zero is in her plushy form. Okay. Now for... Doesn't matter. Night 11. Magic, then missing. Alright. Magic. Come on, Zero, sit on the bed. Alright. Now that I have a greater understanding of data encryption, I want to try decrypting that USB drive I found. All my research into coding pays off as I smash through the virtual locker and peer inside. There's a variety of code snippets, along with a few text files containing notes. One file in particular catches my eye. Confession text. I open up the file and find a log from Professor Barwald. My name is Professor Joseph Barwald. If you're reading this, it's likely I'm dead or my business partner has trapped my soul in one of his animatronics. Perhaps I deserve such a fate after what I've done. I could have walked away at any point, told Smith to fuck off and turned him in. Instead, I let Smith pressure me into acts of kidnapping and brainwashing. The worst part is that I think I secretly enjoyed all of it. Contained on the USB are enough bits of code and notes to show what I've done to these poor girls' minds. My only hope is that they can be used to one day free the girls and maybe even bring Smith down. I am not brave enough to turn this USB in to whoever authority might listen. But if you're reading this, if I'm really gone, then what happens next is in your hands. I only pray you make a better choice than I did. Wow. Just a few random clicks, and I confirm there's enough code and notes here to corroborate everything I've witnessed and found out so far. There's also an encryption file named Afton Insurance that I can't crack further, even with my skills in coding. Luckily, Barwald left a note about it. All I can tell you about this file is that I swiped it from the Smiths when he wasn't paying attention. I haven't been able to crack it, but maybe you will. If it helps you any, Smith's true name is Afton. He started going by Smith once we started forming the club from a business perspective. I tried a few ciphers to crack the encryption, but make no headway. Regardless, this is big, really big. Alright, both Zero and Lexi are still resting. I snag some of the cookies for a meal as I debate what to do before work. Since the club is closed on Sundays, performing the thunderstorm ritual would just waste the components. I should use my time wisely and do some research. Yes. Missing people. That's what we're going to go for. Up to this point, I've been looking for Marie in recent missing persons reports. After finding the encrypted file labeled with Smith's true name Afton, I decided to dig into the man's personal life. Sure enough, I found that he used to have a daughter, Vanessa Afton. She was a sickly individual wasting away in the local hospital. At best, she had a few months left, Her treatment also was costing Smith Afton a pretty penny. On a hunch, I tried to decrypting the file using the word Vanessa as a cipher. Sure enough, the file is translated into plain text that I can read. An entire dossier on Vanessa Afton, including a full psychological profile and notes from Smith himself. I can save her. Her spirit will be contained within the greatest of my creations, resistant to meddling from those fools who would call me a poor necromancer. Her body will be the strongest I can create, yet I must suppress her past. She always hated my animatronics, but I see no other way to save her. I can't lose my precious baby girl, not like her mother. But I can't completely lose her by blocking all her memories. I might as well not have a daughter at that point. Perhaps I can disguise her love for me so she doesn't suspect we're actually father and daughter. It would break my heart, but I can't lose her. Holy fuck. All this, everything at the club, was practice so Smith Afton could save his daughter. It's hard not to sympathize with him at least a tiny bit. It's not enough to excuse everything he's done, though. Still, I know who Marie was now. Usual decision before breakfast. We know what this is. Give that a save. We're getting there. Night 12. I have no idea if Frenni's been reshackled or if her mind is her own. If I'm not careful in how I approach her, and she becomes Smith's puppet again, everything could come crashing down. There's also the part about Frenni shadowing me while the club's closed. One way or another, Frenni reads between the lines of what I've said. Her eyes turn green for a moment and she winks. The upgrade process only enhanced what was already there. Though I will admit, I'm still getting used to the new subroutines and features of this body. Any particular feature of note giving you a problem? Smith told me I'm to work on with you tonight in the daytime while the club is closed. Frenni cocks her head to the side. Boop. That depends on the status and if they're free tonight. I catch her subtle emphasis on the word free. Both Chiku and Bonfi should be available. I see. In that case, I'll leave it to your discretion who helps us out tonight. Alright. Don't get extra help and don't risk. Alright. No extra help. I should probably head to the VIP booth to ensure I can still pole dance in this new body. The momentary flash of green hints that she might want to talk more in private. Is it safe to meet Frenni with the potential of Marie waking up, though? And I did say don't risk it, right? Yeah. Don't risk it. Research magic. If Frenni and I are going to be spending the day together too, then there will be plenty of time to have a private chat later. Make eye contact and shake my head just a bit so she hopefully gets my meaning. Have fun. I'll be in the security room if you need me. Of course, Mr. Black. I'll meet back up with you at closing time. Now 15 minutes after I sit down in the security room, I see via the cameras that Marie is woken up and leaving her pod. Very first thing Marie does is go upstairs to the VIP area before moving to the bar. There's no way I'll be able to chat with Frenni further while at the club, not with Marie wandering around. Might as well do some research to kill some time. And what did I say? I gotta make it. Research magic. Magic. Skip. 3 hours later, Frenni pokes in her head into the security room. I believe it's time for us to head out, Mr. Black. Right. I made it through another night somehow. Yay! Even if Frenni is free, it would be very easy for Smith to check if I skipped that part of his task list. I can't imagine it'll be too challenging to play escort to Frenni. Now that we're out of the club and away from Smith's eyes and ears, I gotta ask. Are you sure the upgrade to this new body didn't change anything about your shackles? Fairly certain, yes. Though there was one interesting thing I noted. Uh-oh. I picked up on a new subroutine when Marie went active and I was practicing dancing. The short version is that Mr. Smith has added an additional way for me to enforce any commands I give. That could be good. It's not a controlled electronic shock per se, more like a mental version of one. Shock is meant to temporarily assert the same command authority that a night guard or Mr. Smith has. The one of his mental jolt is logged, but doesn't send an alert to Mr. Smith. That might be useful when dealing with Marie in the future. Anything else stand out? Anything at all? Well, my new batteries are able to hold triple the charge compared to my old body. Other than that, nothing else stands out. The upgrade was largely limited to aesthetic changes, thanks to you freeing me. Good to know. I'll have to show you around town today to keep up appearances. Indeed. Though I'm free, I can somewhat falsify my logs and give you some breathing room if you need to do anything. Miss Smith will be checking for Rule 1 compliance, but you probably have guessed that already. Of course. Joke's on him. I've not come this far only to slip up now. Well then, where should we start our tour? Let's knock out some shopping. Luckily the places I have in mind shouldn't be too outlandish for you to be nearby while I shop. Thanks to Lexi increasing my power bill, I'll have half as much of a paycheck to spend this week. Oh, choices. Magic and Curos. We're so close to being done. Frenni sets up on the street corner nearby as I head into Madame Chuyun's curio store. Back again, I see. Did you figure out who or what was the source of that memory obliteration ward? I did, yes. You've helped me more than you know. Happy to help a new practitioner. As usual, take a look around and see if anything strikes your fancy. Well, soul binding materials? Yeah. Thanks to my research, I spot some of the components for binding a soul to a vessel. I purchased them thinking they'll come in handy should I figure out a way to completely free one of the girls. Or maybe I can give Smith a taste of his own medicine, if it comes down to it. Alright, let me just double check. Come back later, go home. Okay. Text her ahead of time so she and Lexi know Frenni and I are coming. I don't suspect there'll be any issues that Lexi's ward or Zero's possession won't fix. Still, it doesn't hurt to be on the safe side. Lexi is nowhere to be seen when I open the door, nor is Zero's plushie on my bed. This is a bit of a tight squeeze, isn't it? You're telling me. Usually it's even more cramped with my two new roommates around. What kind of roommates are they? There's a thump at the door, followed by a knock and Lexi shouting. You're gonna have to get the door for me, Josh. Speak of the devil, you're there now. I open the door. Lexi is there lugging a surprise in her arms. Frenni's old body. Cool. Thanks. So this is Frenni's upgraded body? It is indeed. But who are you? And why did you have my old body? Suddenly, Frenni's old body jerks and spasms as Zero's voice emits from it. The usual odd inflection to her words is gone, but the voice is still unmistakably Zero's. When you texted me about Frenni getting an upgrade, I took Lexi to grab the old one. We had to dodge Marie and Zero a few cameras, but as far as Smith knows, it'll be as if this body disappeared. As for who I am, I'm Lexi the Shark. I've known you for a long time, Frenni, even if you don't remember me. Though I don't suppose your upgrade means you might remember me now. Probably not. Oh well. Welcome to Fort Black, Frenni. The one place you're utterly safe from that bastard Smith. Alright, that answers my original questions, but now I have more. Who is in my old body at the moment? Well, you see, I take the time to explain everything to Frenni, sparing no detail about how I came to meet Zero and Lexi. Frenni listens intently, asking a few clarifying questions here and there. It's well into the night by the time I wrap up the story. That's everything I know up until we left the club earlier today. Quite the tale, Mr. Black. If it were anyone else telling me all that, I might think it was a fanciful bit of fiction. Yet I cannot ignore the evidence literally standing in front of me. It's a good thing I can falsify my logs. Mr. Smith had me following you today because he suspected something like this was going on. He'll be none the wiser, though. Zero parks Frenni's old body in a corner for returning to her usual ghostly self. Ah, much better. We'll have to charge that body up if it'll be any use to Josh in the near future. I'll get that going while checking out Frenni's new body model. Smith must have really upgraded the battery life and or stuffed your new body full of them if you can stay out so long, Frenny. I believe it's the former case. You're welcome to poke and prod if you like as long as I remain in one piece. Love it. I'll fix you a meal while they tinker, Josh. Zero treats me to a wonderful meal of bacon and eggs while Lexi works on Frenny. By the time I finish my meal, I'm dead tired. Thankfully, Frenny and Lexi have wrapped up. It was lovely chatting with you, Lexi. A shame I won't recall any of it. Likewise, and who knows, maybe Josh here will figure something out with Madame Chien's once Smith is gone. Worst case, your new batteries have given me ideas of how to upgrade my own chassis. Do you need me to walk you back to the club, Frenny? No, I shall be fine. But thanks for the offer, Mr. Black. Enjoy the rest of your evening, you three. Once Frenny's gone, I let out a huge yawn that I was holding back. I want to attempt to summon the thunderstorm earlier than November 1st. I have to do it before I go to sleep. Alright, let me check, make sure I have to do it. Attempt the ritual. Okay. 24 hours to kick in, assuming it works. That gives me a reasonable chance at success is the electroplasm for 0. Not a guarantee the ritual will work, though. If the ritual fails, I should still commit to making a break-in attempt as if I had. That way, Lexi and Zero know when to make an appearance at the club to help me out. Attempt it. Save it. One or another, things will end on my 13th night at Frenni Fazclaire's. The feather ritual isn't especially difficult, just time-consuming. I check to see the weather once the ritual is complete and see that a new supercell is forming in the west. The storm is particularly charged and focused, producing more lightning strikes, high winds, and other chances to knock out the power. Despite the storm's sudden appearance, the meteorologists are acting like it's normal for this time of year. They're calling for a severe thunderstorm watch in the local area, meaning the storm will arrive right on time on the 31st. I can hear the wind picking up outside as the rain begins to crash against my window. The rumble of thunder and flashes of distant lightning confirms that the weather control ritual worked. That will make things easier once I get to the club. Oh boy, we are getting there. Lexi and Zero help me run through the checklist as I strap up. Anti-rewarding paper. A kiss for good luck. Check my pockets one final time. A kiss from both of you is all I'm missing. Zero floats closer and gives me a light peck on the cheek. Lexi does likewise on the other side. I'll be standing by to manifest once you deal with Marie in the wards. Same here. You can call on me the moment Marie is dealt with. Good. You two know what to do if I don't come back, right? Yes. Go haunt the next night guard or priest until they confront Smith. Yep. Take that USB drive to the police and hope they believe it. Yep. Well, this is it. Go time. Alright. Let's see. Skips. Yep. Rain is coming down like a monsoon by the time I get inside the club. Between the powerful winds and frequent lightning strikes, a power outage could happen at any time. I just have to be ready to enact my plan the moment an outage occurs. Smith left another note on the reception desk for the evening. Of course he did. Simple job for you tonight, kid. Make sure the girls complete their recharge sequence and are not running around willy-nilly. Remember, they're just machines. Assert your authority and they should listen. And just know that if the power goes out for an extended period, I will be checking the logs. Ciao. I have some strong opinions and words I'd like to say to Smith regarding that note, but that will have to wait. Now, I have to wait and pray that the power outage. My biggest concern and potential roadblock tonight is Marie. While she's still under Smith's control, she's not going to make breaking into Smith's office easy. The good news is Frenny's new command subroutine should allow her to order Marie around during a power outage. That means all I have to do is wait for the thunderstorm to knock out the power, then hide in the vents so Frenny gets command authority. Alternatively, I could try freeing Marie now that I know her real name. It'd be risky, so I should probably have one or more of those other girls ready to hold Marie back if something goes wrong. Guess that's going to be my first order of business tonight. I wake up all the girls beside Marie and let them know what I'm about to try. Then I steel myself and activate Marie. Good evening, Josh. Is there a reason you woke me up? I'm supposed to be recharging tonight. clear my throat, and try to sound commanding. Wake up, Vanessa Afton. Marie's eyes begin to rapidly cycle as her body twitches and jerks, just like a puppet having its strings pulled. The other girls form a barrier between us until Marie collapses to the ground. Think it worked? Let's hope so, for all our sakes. This isn't the hospital. Where? Marie looks around, then at her own body. Oh, my absolute cunt is a father. Wait. Oh, my absolute cunt of a father. He put me in one of his animatronics. After all his promises, he'd let me pass on peacefully. This is what I get? I take it you have full control of your body and memories again? Yeah. Though I wish the circumstances were better. Seriously, I was all ready to see whatever afterlife might exist. And dear old dad comes in and takes that away from me. I can only guess based on what I've gathered so far, but I empathize with your current situation. I'm about to try and break into Smith's office and the server room. Anything you know about his defenses would be helpful. Well, for one, any girl that isn't already free will leap to defend the office and server room if an alarm goes off. Judging by our current company, that leaves 0 girls in Dad's pocket. It's a good thing you freed me, otherwise any plan of yours would be doomed to fail. Maybe. I had some ideas about how to handle you, but thankfully they're not needed any longer. So what happens now? Now we wait and hope for the thunderstorm to knock out the power, so I have maximum time before the Smith catches on. Oh, I can now skip. Oh, one line of dialogue skipped? Okay. I have to wait for the power to go out to make my move. 1 hour passes, then another. By the 3rd hour, I'm starting to worry that the power might not go out. Lights have flickered a few times, but they haven't gone out completely. Right around the usual camera loop time that the entire building shakes from a near direct lightning strike. The power instantly cuts out. I step out. Okay. I step out of the office and nod as I see the girls approaching. Places, everyone. It's time to end this thing. I run up to Smith's office door. I realize I have no idea how to break open the lock. Luckily, I can have one of the girls shoulder check it open. Once the door is open, I quickly step inside. I'm not sure what I was expecting to see inside the office. There's an opulent wooden desk with a high-backed leather chair as the centerpiece. Then there's a number of plush, purple couches, zebra-striped carpets, giant beanbag chairs, and double minibars. On the walls are pin-up posters of the girls and other bits of advertising for the club. A quick check behind the posters confirms that there's a recently established wards on the walls. I'm able to subvert and destroy those wards so Zero can at least join me in the office if need be. Aside from that, there's just a laptop on the desk along with a landline phone. Damn it. There's no immediate sign of a way to get into the server room. The entrance has to be here somewhere though, but where? I turn my attention to Smith's desk and hope to find any clues there. Luckily, this isn't the kind of desk that locks, so I can rummage through the drawers with ease. Between all the bits of paperwork, office supplies, booze, and even a few plushies resembling the girls, there's a keypad in the bottom right drawer. I don't know what the code is, nor what will happen if I try keying something in. The keypad does appear to have power, though, confirming that the office and server room might be on a different power grid than the rest of the club. It's time to call on Zero. I text her the code phrase, and moments later she pulls herself out of my phone in classic ghost fashion. It's even more tacky than I remember it. I don't suppose you know the code to this keypad, which I'm guessing leads to the server room? No, but I could possess it and find out. Her eyes flicker to where the plushies are. Also, you'll want to keep those safe. So if something happened to the bodies of Frenni, Fexa, Chico, Bonfi, those plushies are Smith's way of keeping their souls around. Marie's anchor is her entire animatronic body. I see. Can you do your ghost hacking thing while I go hide these plushies somewhere safe? Of course. I smile, grab the plushies, and sprint out of the office to stash them behind one of the grate vents in the hallway. When I return to the office, I don't see Zero, but I do hear the sound of beeping coming from the keypad. Moments later, there's a loud click, followed by part of the wall to the right of Smith's desk sliding open to reveal a spiral staircase down. This is as far as I can go at the moment. Be careful in there. Right, Onwards I go. Staircase spirals down 2 stories before the walls recede and open up into a larger room. 3 rows of servers racks take up the middle of the room. Embedded into the left wall are a myriad of uninterruptible power supplies acting as big batteries. The right wall has a similar setup to the security room where there's screens for every camera feed. All the feeds are dark and the cooling systems of the servers are off. It's only a matter of time before the battery backups run out of the servers get too hot. The hairs on the back of my neck stand up as I reach the bottom of the stairs. The sensation isn't as sinister or as oppressive as when Marie is nearby, but it's still not a fun feeling. Looking up, I notice the ceiling is covered in glyphs. It must be the source of this feeling and what's keeping Zero out. I definitely don't have a way to get rid of all those. It's only a matter of time before the power comes back or the battery backups run out. I have to be quick with my server access. Getting access to servers is as simple as using a terminal built into one of the server racks. First, I reset all the admin accounts and slave them to a new account that I create and control. That's the easy part. The hard part is combing through the massive amount of data that's stored on these servers. Even the girls that I've freed are still connected to these servers. I have direct access to all the girls' stored memories, as well as the protocols and locks that shackle them to the servers. I also see an encrypted folder labeled Smith's Eyes Only. Cliché, perhaps, but I'm not going to question his choice of file management. Subverting the folder's encryption is easy enough. I don't have time to go through everything, though I do find several extremely important files that I make copies of on the spot. One is a dossier on each girl save Marie. This psychological profiles patterns of movements and generally everything you need to stalk and or kidnap them. Another file of dossiers on potential new targets for a Mangle and a Roxy animatronic. Hey, they're talking about the sequel. Then there's a plan to build new nightclubs in areas where it's easy to make women disappear without there being too much police oversight. Places like colleges, cities, generally high population areas where people go missing all the time. Next is a list of vendors where Smith sources the parts for his animatronics. Followed by a dossier on Sawyer Peck that ends with, he knows too much, gotta call in a hit. The last item is a dossier on me. I can't help but look through it. Good kid, does their tasks, doesn't complain, doesn't ask questions. Maybe I'll let him fuck the animatronics once the investor deal goes through. With time ticking by way too fast before the batteries run out, all I can think to do is try to subvert the shackles on all of the girls. I do what I can, but it's like the code is changing from moment to moment, like it's polymorphic or something. Every attempt I make at true freedom is being blocked or otherwise overwritten. With more time, I may be able to figure out a way past this watchdog program, but for now, the girls have to remain connected to the servers. I'm about to rush upstairs when I hear shouting. Hey Josh, Smith's here. We've got him tied up in the office. Good work, I'll be up shortly. When I return to Smith's office, the Degenerate Encore is bound to the chair. All of the free girls are there as well, including Lexi and Zero. So the star of the show appears. I'll bet you're feeling quite smug right now. You've single-handedly brought down an empire a decade in the making. I was going to be revolutionary. I changed the entire fucking entertainment industry. Can you imagine it? An entertainer that doesn't need to sleep, eat, or have other materials needed? One that only needs to recharge every so often? One that will always give their best performance until you decide to sideline them? It fucking put Vegas out of business. But all that doesn't matter now. I can tell that there's no way I'll get you on my side now. A shame that I was ready to let you be my right hand, even fuck the animatronics. Hell, I would have even been willing to make you an immortal body and or teach you the secrets of magic. You talk as if you're going to be walking out of here. Oh, but I am. You can't keep me tied up in here forever. If I don't meet with the investors, then they'll know something is up. The girls all look to me. The call is yours, Mr. Black. What should we do with Mr. Smith? I look over to Zero as she floats next to Smith's desk. Smith's going to sign over the business to me. Why would I? That's all Smith could get out before Zero possesses him. His eyes flutter, his body spasms, then he mutters, I will sign the business over to Josh Black. Possessed Smith lurches, pulling out official paperwork, then begins writing. Now what?
You're gonna go check on Mike at the bottom of the river. Despite the possession, I can hear the fear in Smith's voice as he trembles, and the trembles of his body as Zero forces him to speak. Yes, of course. Could you see him to the river, Lexi? Good thinking. My word will make everyone forget they saw us. Exactly. Make sure Smith disappears. On it, boss. With that taken care of, I go sit at what's now my desk to check the paperwork. Everything's in order. I'm now the official owner of the Frenni Fazclaire's nightclub. The rest of the night is a bit of a blur. Once Smith's been permanently dealt with, I gather everyone in my new office. I come clean about everything. The girls listen intently, only asking a few clarifying questions here and there. The presence of Lexi and Zero helps the rest accept what's happened. Quite the intricate tale, Mr. Black. If I were not an active participant, I think it was all bad fan fiction. All I care about is the nightmare is fucking over for good now. That, we can finally fuck Josh here. I only really followed some of that, but I do like the thought of not being under Smith's control anymore. I've just got one question. What's ghost sex like? I could show you. We all could go at Josh at once. Not a bad plan. Just as I'm about to accept my fate and break Rule 1, I get a phone call from an unknown number. Given the night's events, I'm wary, but still answer. On the other side is a woman's voice. Good evening, Mr. Black. My name is Special Agent Katoa. I understand you've dealt with Mr. Afton. Special Agent for who? How do you know what happened here? Let's say we've had an eye on you since you started poking around looking for paranormal information. As for how we know, a weather control ritual required one of us to keep an eye on you. That sort of thing is highly regulated, after all. Am I in trouble? Hardly, Mr. Black. You saved us the trouble of dealing with Mr. Afton ourselves. There was a lot of red tape there that you neatly avoided. Am I correct in guessing you know the truth of his staff, and that you had him sign over the club to you? Yes to both. Good. You can keep the club and the girls. As long as you don't create another unwilling animatronic, or mess with the weather again, we won't have to worry about another phone call from me. What if I need to call you about another Afton situation? I will send you a business card that you can use for such purposes. For now, enjoy your victory, and try not to end up with a broken pelvis. Even with magic, that's a hard thing to fix. So, who was that? From the sound of it, the magical cops. Fuck, there's magical cops? Apparently. Be that as it may, perhaps we should wrap things up for the night. After all, it's 6:03 a.m. Huh, so it is. I made it to day 13. I've got one day before the investors show up, and I have to either snub them or convince them to work with me. One day in which I'll likely break Rule 1 several times. There's also the matter of Professor Barwald and the other two potential girls that Smith had pinned. So many loose ends, so little time. I'm quite confident I can handle things, though. Well, maybe not the news stains, but I'm going to leave the VIP booths with the girls. But that's what my magical cleaning touch is for. True end. All right. Finally. It's been a week since I freed the girls and took over the nightclub. I was going to delay the investors' meeting for the time being, but eventually I'll have to face them. One Miss Diablo, hey, she's from the sequel, in particular, is rather keen to get me at the conference room table ASAP. Oh well, the girls' happiness is what matters to me, and right now I have a backlog of meetings. Lexi and Zero is still going over the club with a fine-tooth comb, and likely will be for some time. That means I have the time to focus on the main cast of the club. Alright, with that, all my meetings are concluded. We have a lot of work ahead of us at the nightclub. But somehow, I think we'll be okay.
And so ends the tale of Josh Black.
Yay.
That was quite the adventure, wasn't it? I hope you found the ending you wanted.
I did.
If not, after all.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So,
yeah, the meetings are just you know, the spicy things. But this was great. I love it. I'm so glad I finally went back into this to try to get the true ending. Now there is another ending I haven't gotten, which is the zero ending. I don't know how to get that one. I might go for that later. I'm not sure, but I think this is good for now. Definitely, definitely good for now. Great game. Love the story. Just great. And now I gotta finish the second one too. But yeah. So on that note, you all have yourselves a good one, and I will see you later.